is the crux of what the problem is right now, what's happening in Uganda, in Malawi, and really in the United States and in many other places, because you have religious leaders who are not understanding as you say, the broad spectrum, the rainbow of human sexuality. So I'm wondering, supporting LGBT rights is not a popular stance in your country. So what did you base your position on in terms of for LGBT individuals? And talk more about your work with counseling with families.
Yeah, as I got involved, finding people who are being rejected, people being rejected even by their parents, people being sent away from school because of their sexual orientation, people being sent away from work because they owned that they were LGBT people. I felt it was necessary to give all necessary counseling to these people. Because even some young people told me, they were being told that unless they should pray, they should even fast to change. And some came to me and said, they tried all this, but they were not able to change. And then they were saying, why did God create me like this? One young man frankly told me that he was about to commit suicide if he did not come and got the counseling he got. I know him even to this day. He is very grateful that God created him as he is, because I said, you accept yourself. And he has come to accept himself. And he's using his talents, which God has given him, instead of wasting a lot of energy in trying to change to something which he is not.
Well, I hope and pray that many people who are seeking that type of understanding from their church could find people like yourself. Because I know my own story was I went to a Pentecostal church where they tried to cast the demon of homosexuality out of me. And I say that I had to go back a second time because the first time didn't take. So again, I'm very grateful for your stance and your courage within your own country. So to take that type of stance in Uganda, talk to us about the price that you've had to pay by being this leading voice in the country.
The price is so big. And it is really, as a believer in God, it is by the grace of God that I've been able to survive even the psychological pressure, let alone lack of finance, because my pension was taken away from me because of my stand. As a bishop, I was consecrated to work in the church, to have Eucharist, to marry people when I was asked, even baptized and all that. But my church said, since you are not condemning LGBT people, you should no longer continue to serve with us. That has not been easy. Has not been easy. But when I have this center, I have my center, where I counsel some young people and others who come. We've been trying every Sunday in the evening to have some prayers, where I can do some praying, even preaching, and sharing with these people. But again, with the recession which has been taking place, some support which I was having to have such meetings has been made rather difficult. But we hope this can be revived, because there are now people who feel I shouldn't close this office. Because I was almost closing my center. But I said, Lord, what should I do? So it hasn't been easy to stand. But by the power of God, I stood. And the abuses have been poured on me, because when I was passing along the road, people could say, oh, there is a man. That man supports something which is wrong. And one time, one old man, I was talking to him, I said, I know these people were also created by God. He said, what do you mean by that? He slapped me. He did. But I couldn't do anything. I walked away. And all these harassments, when they come about, what I do has been to walk away, without quarreling with anybody. But this has been going down and down. But with the introduction of this new bill, there is a lot of fear what might happen. Because a lot of hatred will be resurrected, as it were. So there is real fear. That's why we are talking against this bill. It is a draconian bill, inhuman. And we are very grateful to people like your president here, because he spoke against the bill. President Obama, he directly spoke with the president against the bill. And the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, did the same. And the Prime Minister of Britain then, Brown, did. So there have been voices, but my life has not been easy. My wife at first couldn't understand me, but by education, that's why I say education is important. My wife is now supports me. She's the first I try to educate about human sexuality. I'm doing the same with my family, my children. And I'm intending to do it more and more with my fellow bishops, on an individual basis, because I'm not allowed to stand in a pulpit and preach in our church. But I go to the church.